Hey everybody, Matty here with Altcoin Buzz. Hope you're having a good one. And it's been a very volatile market these last couple of days. More lately, it's been volatile in a positive way to the upside. But if you're apprehensive about that volatility here on Cryptopolitan.com, we want to remind you of Amazon's 99% decline. Many of you may not be familiar with just how dramatic that was. On newsbtc.com, could post-crypto bubble Bitcoin follow .com crash NASDAQ chart? We'll take a look at that. Also on newsbtc.com. Bitcoin halving search trend is surging. So why is the price stagnant? Well, maybe not so stagnant. As you've seen, it's gone up in the last couple of days. Here on bitcoinist.com, 5 Bitcoin events that could happen before the 2020 halving. And on finance.yahoo.com, boredom is the enemy. A look at the Bitcoin price since peaking at $20,000. Let's first take a snapshot look at the markets here. I'm happy to report that we are up after a few rather discouraging and depressing days. Total market cap at $194 billion right now. At the time of this recording, Bitcoin is up 10.5% in the last 24 hours. Price right now is $7,322. As you can see, many other projects are up in the single or even double-digit percentage ranges, and dominance at this time continues to rise, 68.2%. Here on Cryptopolitan.com, we're trying to put things in perspective a little bit. If volatility is giving you a hard time, maybe it's stressing you out, well, that's normal. But if it's preventing you from investing in Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, macro economist Riggs highlighted a now renowned Silicon Valley giant's dismal market performance. This was back from the year 2000 to 2002, when nobody believed at the time that it would emerge as one of the greatest entrepreneurial ventures of all time. We are talking about Amazon. According to a recent Twitter post by a macroeconomist and an avid asset trader and investor, Riggs, firms like Amazon, even Cisco and Yahoo, which are now considered yardsticks of entrepreneurial success, witnessed over 96% plunges in their stock prices in the early 2000s. Here is the tweet itself, at Riggs BTC. Make sure you're following. Many people try to talk negatively about Bitcoin volatility. Meanwhile, Amazon, Yahoo, and Priceline all collapsed over 96% back in 2000 before minting millionaires. Early tech volatility is natural. Long-term upwards volatility is the holy grail. Get used to it. And so a heartfelt congratulations is in order to everyone who held Amazon stock through the 98.7% decline between the years 2000 and 2002. Looking back now, it's a blip on the radar that few, if any, even remember. But you know what? 98.7% declines, that is called being able to buy it up at a bargain. And for those who did, and for those that stuck in the game, believe me, they are not unhappy with their choices. Sticking on the theme of tech and stocks, we're on newsbtc.com. Could post-crypto bubble Bitcoin follow .com crash NASDAQ chart? It should come as no surprise that the cryptocurrency bubble has drawn comparisons to a number of past bubbles. We just discussed, for example, the .com bubble. But a direct comparison with the post.com collapse price chart of the NASDAQ stock index shows a price pattern that looks somewhat similar to the price action playing out in Bitcoin markets currently. Here at CoinZeta, James on Twitter. Little hopium for my bullish followers. While I have posted plenty of scenarios showing a drop to $1,300, I trade Bitcoin level to level. Right now, I think it's important not to get too complacent. Could absolutely find out Bitcoin follows the NASDAQ's lead after the .com bubble. So for context, after that .com bubble burst, NASDAQ crashed in value by as much as 80% of its peak price, just like Bitcoin has done since $20,000. Once the asset bottomed, it grew nearly 3 times in value at the height of a following echo bubble rally. And once the echo bubble peak was reached, though, the fractal similarities, according to some analysts, between NASDAQ and the current Bitcoin price action became even more convincing. Okay, so what happens next to crypto after it bottoms once again? Well, if Bitcoin continues to follow the same post.com NASDAQ pattern, the first ever cryptocurrency would suffer a sharp and violent fall from here, taking the crypto asset down another 30 to 40% toward the last remaining diagonal trend line located around $5,000 to as low as $4,000 $800. We're talking about Bitcoin now. But the good news is that after the asset found a bottom once again, it went on to embark on the greatest bull run the world had ever seen. One that is still going even today, nearly a decade after the initial collapse. So, should Bitcoin follow that same course? And that's a big should, but should it be the case, well, then the crypto could eventually reach prices of $100,000 to as much as $1 million per Bitcoin, as some analysts are predicting. This is just one, or perhaps a couple of analysts' opinions, so do take it with a grain of salt. However, it is in the realm of possibility. Here also on newsbtc.com, Bitcoin halving search trend is surging, but why is price stagnant? Perhaps just slightly out of date, because we know the world of crypto moves very, very quickly. However, the searches on Google for the term Bitcoin halving are much more common than they were 4 years ago, and this has led one cryptocurrency analyst to conclude that the top will be much higher than those seen during previous bull markets. Generally speaking, the Google search trends are fairly good indicators to gauge the public sentiment as far as kind of the popularity about something. The valence could be positive, it could be negative, you never quite know, but statistically speaking, the number of searches does correspond with the level of involvement, especially in the case of assets or commodities. And so there is a case to be made that increased Bitcoin halving searches will translate to more investors getting into the space, ideally before, but perhaps during and after the May 2020 halving. Check out the rest of this article for more numbers, metrics, and details, as well as opinions. Speaking of the Bitcoin halving, we're on Bitcoinist.com. Here are 5 events that could happen before the May 2020 Bitcoin halving. So really just in the next few months. Pre-halving months, we'll see Bitcoin accumulation. That's probably no surprise. Third halving arrives at time of record mining activity. So the Bitcoin halving narrative remains one of the chief sources of price speculation going into 2020. And Altana Digital CIO Alistair Milne says we're likely to witness 5 events take place before the big day arrives. Here is the tweet itself at Alistair Milne. Things I expect to happen over the next 4 to 5 months due to the impending Bitcoin halving. In no particular order. Number 1, Bitcoin shorts will close out as people get more and more bullish, presumably, on the price of Bitcoin, not only the short term, but the long term price as well. Number 2, people reaccumulate Bitcoin if they have sold. This is especially likely to happen in the months leading up to the May 2020 halving. Number 3, miners start to hoard, example, borrow US dollars against assets. Number 4, underperforming altcoins sold for BTC. We've been noticing a micro trend lately that kind of attests to that. There seems to be a growth in terms of the Bitcoin dominance, which we always cover on a daily basis. It's very marginally moving in the upward direction, and that movement, to be fair, is modest, but I would expect that number to grow from the high 60s to perhaps even the mid or high 70s by May of 2020. And finally, number 5, bulls lever up. Depending on where you're from, you're going to say that differently. And by the by, third halving arrives at time of record mining activity for Bitcoin. The 2016 halving also happened at a time when ASIC farms were growing. But in the past 2 years alone, the operations have turned into industrial giants, with the Bitcoin network consuming as much electricity annually as the economy of Austria. And finally here on finance.yahoo.com, boredom is the enemy? Well, a look at the Bitcoin price since peaking at $20,000. I'll let you guys read this at your leisure, but just as a reminder here, talking about Amazon that dipped nearly 99% in the years 2000 to 2002. Bitcoin itself is down right now since the all-time high, or excuse me, not currently, but its decline since the all-time high in December 2017 to December 2018, about 12 months following the $20,000 all-time high, it did go down. It did nosedive about 85, 86, maybe 87% from just below $20,000 to about $3,500, depending on the exchange or where you're getting the information. So a lot of parallels with previous stock market valuations and commodity fluctuations. But if you'd like to get a more in-depth perspective on what has happened since that December 2017 high of $20,000, check out the rest of this article. We will link to it, as always, in the description below.
All right, that wraps it up for today. But hey, make sure you're following us on all the regular social media channels. We are on Facebook, we are on Instagram, on Telegram, and on Twitter as well. Keep checking back into the website too. It is altcoinbuzz.io. That's where you can keep up to date with all the latest and greatest breaking news. And when it comes to news, make sure you check the description of our videos. That's where we link to everything that we discuss on a daily basis. The description also has information. You can check out how to get your hands on a $50 MCO card. That's courtesy of Crypto.com, as well as info on how to sign up for our newsletter so you can stay even more up to date. But right now, we have another contest to discuss. We have contests every single week, and this upcoming Saturday, we are giving away yet another CryptoTag Zeus starter kit. All you got to do is make sure you're subscribed to Altcoin Buzz on YouTube. You got to like the video between now and Saturday. You got to comment on the video, and a winner will be selected at random. You may as well throw your hat into the running. You could be the winner of our CryptoTag Zeus starter kit. So best of luck if you choose to invest, and we hope to see you again soon in our next video. Take care.